All right, is this colorful enough for you, Reese? Thank you all for coming to celebrate this special young man today. My name is Ryan Lundgren. I'm the basketball coach here at Valley View, and I got the opportunity to work with Reese the last couple of years in our program. First off, I want to thank the Hadlock family and express to all of you how honored I am to have been asked to speak at Reese's celebration. So Jed, Katie, Steele, thank you so much. I'm going to do my best to get through this. We'll see. Reese Hadlock was a special young man. It's clear by the amount of people here today and just how important he was and how many lives he touched during his 16 years. As I sat here thinking of what to talk about in this speech, there were several things that came to mind. I think everyone that's been up here has mentioned them, but there were the school assemblies where Reese would run around with his gold Falcon gear and his football helmet doing cartwheels down the court. The basketball games where he'd be getting the crowd excited in his pink spandex onesie. His infamous, "oh yeah," from the bench when he was cheering on his teammates to play defense. I really enjoyed sitting back and just taking time to reflect on Reese as a person. As I thought more about it, there were three recurring words that kept coming to my mind when attempting to depict Reese. Those words were passion, determination, and love. I'm going to do my best over the next few minutes to give three examples of how Reese displayed these character traits. First one is passion. Reese was passionate about many things: his family, his friends, his school. He loved this school, the game of basketball. Obviously, as his basketball coach, I got to see this passion for the game on a daily basis. He played for the junior varsity team both his freshman and sophomore seasons. When Reese was on the court, he made a noticeable difference. He had a high basketball IQ. He understood the game on both ends of the floor, and he could shoot the ball well. While his brother Steele might be the better shooter, I can say with 100% certainty that Reese was the better passer. That's not hard to believe, though, because Steele never saw a shot that he didn't like. One particular story stands out in my mind that shows just how passionate Reese was about basketball. It was his freshman year, and our varsity team was getting ready to fly down to San Francisco for a Christmas basketball tournament. We had an extra plane ticket become available at the last minute, and by the vote of our coaching staff, Reese was selected as the JV player we would travel with us. Steele was a senior on the team, and we thought it'd be special for Reese to experience that trip with his older brother. I told Reese before the trip, "This is a business trip, Reese. You're the team manager for the next 6 days. Okay, you got to help me with the scouting report on the upcoming opponents. You got to make sure all our players get to the van on time, and you got to make sure they always have water and snacks in their room." He was ecstatic to be given this job, and he took pride in it. While our players had some downtime to relax on the beach in Santa Cruz, I told Reese I wanted him to drive to the gym with me to film and scout the upcoming opponents during the week. It was during those car rides and in the bleachers, watching the games, he really opened up for the first time, talking about his passion for basketball. And now he wanted to learn as much as he could from his time at Valley View and be the best teacher and high school coach that he could. I thought it was really cool to hear that from him, and a really mature mindset for a 14-year-old to have. While scouting the games, he would ask questions like, "How would you defend that action? That kid is good. Do you notice every time he dribbles left, he spins back to his right?" And little comments like that quickly showed me that he'd be a hell of a coach. He never got the opportunity to officially be a coach, but he was as passionate as any coach or player in our program. In our basketball program, we sometimes keep track of positive touches to show our players the importance of them. A positive touch is when a player gives a teammate a high five, a chest bump, a pat on the back, a hug, or any sort of positive touching interaction. We feel that the players who do this the most are also the players that are most bought into the team and the success of their teammates. I have no question in my mind that if this was something we charted every single day, Reese Hadlock would lead our entire basketball program. in positive touches. No one got more excited about his teammates' success than Reese. The next one is determination. Just by the sheer amount of adversity that Reese faced during his life, with the constant surgeries and setbacks, speaks to the immense amount of determination that he showed. Most kids would have never fought as hard as he did to continue playing the game that he loved. After one JV game this year at Ridgeview High School, I was headed back to give our pregame talk to the varsity team, and I saw Reese pretty upset in the hallway. I immediately went over to console him and ask what was wrong. He told me how frustrated he was that he couldn't be out there helping his team. I tried to alleviate some of his frustration by letting him know how important he was to this program and our culture, whether he was on the floor scoring points or on the bench cheering for his teammates and handing out positive touches. After him and I talked, he walked into the locker room where his JV coach, Carl Wilson, and his entire team cheered loudly for him as if he had just scored 30 points that night. Those tears quickly turned into the smile that we all loved. Sometimes determination and stubbornness go hand in hand. Reese definitely came with a strong dose of stubborn. It was the end of February. We were prepping for the 2019 state basketball tournament. We had moved Reese up to the varsity team for the state tournament, and he was practicing with all of us leading up to the week. We also had we had about 7 guys run our scout team and mimic all the plays that Moscow would run against us on Thursday night. We also had the scout team defend us the way that Moscow would, aggressively. Reese was part of this scout team. I'll never forget him coming out and matching up defensively with our senior guard, Amaro Lotto. Reese was ready to give him his best defensive effort. Amaro was the state player of the year, was playing at a really high level, but Reese didn't care. He was determined to try to stop him. After a few possessions of him guarding Amaro, I told Reese to switch on to somebody else, and I can still remember the dirty look he gave me when I requested that change. He was pissed that I wasn't letting him take on this challenge. Obviously, I was doing it out of concern for him getting injured in the process, but he was legitimately mad that we doubted his ability to defend Amaro. But that was Reese. He was as determined and as stubborn as anyone. The third and final one is love. If we had to pick just one word, this would have to be it. Reese was full of love. I've spent a lot of time this week talking to his friends about what they remember most about him, whether it was his smile, his laugh, or his willingness to just help out people. It was all out of love. Reese loved so many people, and so many people loved him, but there was no stronger than the love between him and his brother Steele. I coached Steele for 3 years on the varsity team and was fortunate to develop a strong relationship with him and his family. It was obvious early on that Steele possessed an unbreakable love for his little brother. He would often tell me how much he loved and admired Reese for his determination and passion towards life. Steele put this love and respect for Reese on full display within the first 2 months of me knowing him. It was the summer going into Steele's sophomore year of high school. Our varsity team went to the University of Oregon team basketball camp. One of the days we were there, we took the team into Portland to explore the city and do some shopping at Nike Town. While we were at Nike, all the boys on our team were buying new shoes and shorts and jackets and shirts, you name it. The Valley View basketball team probably spent $3,000 on gear that day. As I made my way around asking the guys what they had purchased, I'll never forget what Steele told me. He had spent the last couple $100s he had on Nike gear for his brother Reese. Shoes, shirts, socks, he spoiled him. And I knew in that moment how much love there was between these two brothers. Reese would often tell me how much Steele meant to him, not just with his words, but with his actions. Like the time Reese cried with joy at Steele's signing day event when Steele signed his letter of intent to play basketball at Wenatchee Valley College. Reese was so proud of his older brother. The last one, I just want to kind of finish up, passion, determination, and love. I gave 3 examples of that, but this was Reese, and we could go on, but I had to just pick 3 to keep it short. But I look out into the crowd today, and it blows me away how loved and respected he was by our Valley View community, and even people outside of our community that are here today. It's amazing how sometimes it's difficult situations or events that teach us the most in life. I'm sure I'm speaking for many people when I say this, but over the past week, I've reflected on the importance of telling the people in my life how much I admire them, how much I respect and value them, and how much I love them. I can feel the cohesiveness of our Valley View family growing each day. This is an opportunity for all of us to come together and learn this valuable lesson. I truly feel that this was Reese leaving one last parting gift to all of us, and I'll be forever grateful for that. Thank you, Reese. Thank you to the Hadlock family. We love you guys.